What's up, everybody? We are back. Today is day 17 of 90, and I have this book back in my hand, The 12 Pillars, and we are going to discuss chapter 6, and it's titled, Surround Yourself with the Best People. Don't join in easy crowds. You won't grow. Go where the expectations and the demands to perform are high. So I'm gonna just share some takeaways that I had from this section. But hold on. All right, I highlighted it. I'm gonna do my level best to read what I highlighted. So it reads: surround yourself with winners, successful people who exhibit and live consistent to values and skills you want to acquire and develop. The people in your life have an amazing power to influence your destiny. So ask yourself this question: who am I around? I will change that, make it a better question. Who am I constantly around? Because being around a person or two every once in a while won't affect you as much as the people that you are consistently around. So that's a question you get to ask. Who are you around? What effect are they having on you? Hold up one second. Let me make sure I got my, yep, selected. Okay, we're good. Boom. All right. Who am I around? What effect are they having on me? What have they got me reading? 12 pillars. What have they got me saying? I'm gonna finish reading this and I'm gonna go back and say what I gotta say. Where do they have me going? What do they have me thinking? And most importantly, what do they have me be? Who do they have me becoming? So going back to what effects they have on you, what do they have you reading? I think I shared part of my story with you guys before about personal development, where before I didn't know what personal development was. I heard people talking about it, and let's just talk about this for a second. So personal development is, depending on where you are in your life and what it is that you need, will determine the type of personal development you will engage with. So for example, I share with you the 12 pillars, the 4 agreements. Could be, I have a book called Eat the Frog and talk about time management. So it really is the question that you get to answer, because people ask all the time, like, what should I be reading? So I like to encourage you to evaluate where you are right now and what are some of the challenges you are having in life, and then that will help you to direct you to what type of personal development you should be engaging with in that season, because the seasons will change. So there's times where I'm like, girl, you gotta get your time management together. There's times when I'm just not organized, stuff all over my desk. I can't think straight or create if I have stuff all over the place. I have to like organize it first. Could be like, who are you surrounded by? If you have goals and you're never reaching them, as they just stated, maybe you just need to disconnect from the people that you are connected to for a period of time, and sometimes you just gotta disconnect until. Okay, so your friends, your spouse, your co-workers, and your family, all the people we surround ourselves with, it is important to ask how they affect us. Boom. All right. Flip the page. I'm just reading what I highlighted. What effect do my friends have on me? You've got to be willing to take an honest look at what kind of influence they currently have on you. In other words, are they helping you grow in the direction you want or not? And this is not always an easy thing to do, especially when you have loved ones, people that you really rock with, people that you've been friends with for years. And like I said, sometimes it may be for a season. And I'll just, I'm into the whole nutrition fitness thing. Most of my people, including myself, is always looking to like release weight, things of that nature. So if I am constantly hanging around my friends that want to always go to happy hour or hit the buffets, that's not serving me and my goal at that moment. Doesn't mean that I have to like disconnect with them forever, but if you continue to do what you're doing, you're going to continue to get what you're getting. So you get to sit in that space to, like I said, to reevaluate, like, what am I doing? The goals that I said that I have, if I'm not reaching them, first things first, check your surroundings. Check your friends, check your family, check where you need to make some adjustments and make them. And I promise you, when you do that, when you make that decision, you will, you might not feel better at the time, just depending. But, when the results start coming, you would be like, okay, I did that. And you'll see the results, and then you start to feel better. And especially when we see progress. You ever write down goals? Like, what do they say? I saw a quote one time, and the guy said, I have all these befores and no afters. You take all these before pictures, but you have no after pictures. Like, that doesn't really feel good to the person that really wants to reach their goals. But if you stay on the merry-go-round and you continue to do the same thing, you're going to continue to have a whole bunch of before pictures and never any after pictures. And I can speak that because I've been there. It's like getting a challenge. Here's my before picture. 21 days go by. Kinda, sorta. Nah, I really don't see no goals. I'm gonna start over on the next 21-day challenge. Get the next 21-day challenge. Day 1, day 2, day 21. Because you get excited when you sign up for it, but when if you're not willing to do what you need to do to see that result, you're not going to get it. You're going to constantly find yourself starting over and over and over again. And until you, me, us, we, people get sick and tired of being sick and tired of getting the same result, that's normally when the change happens. But you gotta, sometimes we just, have to find ourselves in that space in order to make the adjustment and the change. All right, back to the book. Okay, it says every relationship you have is an association, and each association has either a positive, neutral, or negative effect on you. So a person who wants to achieve success has to constantly make a determination about what kind of relationship it is and how to approach the relationship. Disassociation, okay, you place every person you meet into one of these 3 categories. We got 3, okay? The first one is disassociation. The second is limited association and expanded association. So you simply ask yourself whether each person is someone you should stop associating with. Should you limit your association, or should you expand it? And okay, that part. Okay, successful people look for relationships with other successful people who will push them, challenge them, and encourage them to become better. When I left the gym a while ago, we were outside in the parking lot talking, and the conversation was, if you, let's just relate it to sports. We were talking about a young man that wanted to become better with his basketball skills and become a better basketball player. In the conversation or the statement that was made, if you are on a team of people, whether it's sports, business, put yourself on whatever team you're on. If you are the smartest person, or if you're you're the best person on the team, you may need to remove yourself and put yourself on another team so you can be stretched. Because oftentimes, if you are showing up and you're always the best, or you're always, the one giving, and you're always the one on top, like, who's going to pull you? I love the push-pull effect. Like, sometimes we show up and we give. I've been in spaces where I give. And then I also like to be given to, or be poured into. And us women, another conversation I had with, we had a call at 6. We were just talking about, being women and how we naturally pour into everybody else. But your cup, you should be filling your cup first. And I've said this before, and whatever run over is what you give to everybody else. And you have to, own that. You have to own what come with it. Sometimes people be like, oh, you don't have time for me. No, I don't have time because I'm busy filling up my cup. When my cup get full and whatever I have running over, I'm going to give. Because we are people where some of us anyway, because, there are some people that show up and just take. But we are typically, especially the women, I don't know about guys, maybe y'all too, but you often hear them talk about this is how women are. We are nurturers, we're givers, we like to do, we like to support, we like to build, all that good stuff. And we show up and we do it, and then we find ourselves empty. And that's whole nother conversation. Something just came to my head. That's a whole nother conversation if we find ourselves empty. But it's okay to stop for a second, because I'm no good to my family, I'm no good to my clients, I'm no good to my friends if I don't fill my cup up first. If I'm constantly walking into a space and I'm angry and I'm never positive and I never have anything positive to say, 9 times out of 10, I'm not filling my own cup. And when you start to fill your own cup, you just feel different, and you'll find yourself in a space where it's like, it's not personal, but I got to take care of me first. And once I take care of me, if I got something left over, then I'm going to give it to everybody else. And that was a hard decision and a hard shift to make, but we only get one life to live, so you get to choose how you want to live this life. Do you want to live it? And I'm not saying, like, let me make sure I should say this right, or let me say this better. I believe in serving, and I believe in being a person of service, and I believe in giving. But when you do it to a degree where you're sacrificing your happiness and your joy and your fulfillment, God cut it off. Personal opinion. You can find that in Crystal 3, chapter 4. Okay. To attract, and this is another thing too. We want to be around successful people, but we're not willing to do. We can't like want to be around successful people, but not be willing to do what's successful. I'm sorry. Let me say that better. I'm tripping. Take two. So we shouldn't want to be around successful people without doing what we need to do to do our part in being successful. Does that make sense? So like sometimes we're like, oh, I want to be around people that's doing better, but you're not willing to work on yourself to become better. You just want to be in the room. And so, when you walk into that space, you should walk into that space as I'm here to receive, but I also bring a lot of value when I walk in this room so that people don't look at you like, because you could kind of tell sometimes when people are in a space just to take and just to receive. So you don't want to be that person either. So it says here, to attract attractive people, guess what? You must be attractive. To attract powerful people, guess what? You must be powerful. To attract committed people, you must be committed. Instead of going to work on them, go to work on yourself. If you become, you can attract. I'm going to read that again, and then we're going to talk about this because I'm just going to read it again. To attract attractive people, you must be attractive. So again, and it doesn't mean you have to be the most attractive person in the room like I just shared. Like come with the mindset of, I may not be where I want to be, but I'm not where I used to be, but I am coming in this space with something to I'm offering something. I'm coming in this space. Hold on. I just said that all wrong. Say that better. What I'm trying to say is, y'all heard me when I said it the first time. I don't know why I'm repeating myself. But when you walk in with a mindset and a heart that I'm here to give, so that you can receive. I'm a firm believer that when you give, you make room to receive. You can tell a stingy person, a person that is self-minded, a person that only think about themselves, because when they go in a space, they normally come in like this. Like they're never giving, it's always my way, how I want to do it. It's always like I'm only showing up if I feel good or, but when you walk into a space and you're willing to serve and you're willing to give, my arms are open, you're also willing and making space to receive. Okay. To attract committed people, you must be committed. And then instead of going to work on them, go to work on yourself. And that's important too, because people will get in a space and they will look, and I hear this over and over again. And, we can never control what other people do and or say. Only thing we can do is control our own selves. But, we walk into a space and we got something to say about everybody. This person is doing this wrong. That person is doing that wrong. That person is doing that wrong. Like, sincerely, when you care about people, like, I'm not saying I've never had a conversation where I'm like, dang, they doing that or dang, they doing that. But when you really sincerely care about people, you just start praying, really pray for them. Because one thing I know for sure, two things for certain, I, nor anybody under the sound of my voice, prove me wrong if you can, have not lived a life where we crossed every T and dotted every I. And, oftentimes when I look and I see certain things, I'm thanking God that it's not me. It could be me, but then you also want to respond as if it was you. Or I always like to think about my children. If my children was in a certain situation, how would I want another person on the outside to respond to them? Because when we really want everybody to win, we will respond in a certain way. If you stink and you got doodle on your shoe, it's a simple conversation. What I say is one thing, how you receive it is another. Once I do my part is done. So if I tell you that you got doo-doo on your shoes and it stink, and you look at the doo-doo and say, that's not doo-doo, or it's doo-doo, but it doesn't stink, then I've done my part. But at least let's start showing up, in that type of space, if that makes sense. Okay. A few things. First of all, you open yourself up to all sorts of new knowledge about how the world works, how business works, how to better your relationships. Second, you open yourself up to a vast new network. Their friends become your friends. Soon your whole business and sphere of influence has changed for the better. And lastly, and most importantly, your attitude changes. And 99% of your life is attitude. And that is true. That part right there. And my book is literally coming apart. For real, for real. Y'all can see I say I read this book every year. Like twice sometimes. Okay, so that's what I have on that. So this was chapter 6. And we just talked about, and I'm making it worse, surround yourself with the best people. You know, we can't control other people, but we can control our atmosphere in the rooms that we walk in the rooms that we walk out of. So this was really, really good. This whole book is good, but I decided to talk about this tonight. So I hope you guys had a powerful, happy Father's Day. Happy belated Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Yesterday was Father's Day. It's Monday. It's a new week. I pray that you guys have a phenomenal night. And man, like I said, I always say every day is day one. Just be committed to becoming 1% better every day, and we will make it. Rome wasn't built overnight, but we can make it. Do it. So I love you guys, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Holla.